Hey y'all, it's your boy Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. This is a video response to DesertCoyote22. Um, he just did a rant. He did a rant a couple of years back. I mean, I wasn't aware of it. I literally just stumbled over not too long ago. But he was just talking about um, Christianity and people and profanity. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm guilty. I'm a born again Christian, and I am guilty of. I myself am guilty of using profane languages. From time to time. You know, I don't use profanity as much as you know. Back then, when I was growing up, you know, I mean, even as a kid growing up, I've been around people who who use profanity literally all of my life. So so I'm not judging them on that behalf. But I like it how people who wants to call, you know, there are people who call each other out for using profanity. I mean, the very devout Christian folk out there who would call people out for their profane usage. But let me just say this, I you know when I'm at work, I don't really use profanity much, you know, and sometimes it will slip up, and that's normally when if I were to make a mistake at work, I will say, "Oh, S word," or or "Oh, F," or you know, things of that nature, But never, but never in you know, in some other way, say I'm gonna say this, I don't call I don't call women the B word, and literally, to be very honest, I don't even approve of calling women the B word. I don't call, I rather not, last time I called, you know, last time I called women the B word was, you know, I got in some real trouble, some deep trouble. I've had my mouth washed out. I've got, you know, I've literally got some real tough discipline on that behalf. But never. But I don't call women the B word. Okay? Straight up. Now, but I would say this, I'm not, when it comes to anybody who uses profanity, I mean, I'm even around some folk. I mean, I live with people who use profanity too, so I'm not judging them on that. I mean, even though, I will say that I can, I can talk without using profanity anyway. I mean, but let me just say this. I mean, I do have people who would, even on social media, there are some people. Now, there are some people I know on social media. They would basically say no profanity on their posts, and I wholeheartedly respect them for that, because you know, when somebody used profanity on somebody's post, that'll make that person, I mean, that'll make both the person of the original post, let alone the person who commented, look bad. Unfortunate, but true. But, you know, I've had people, you know, use profanity on whatever I posted on social media too. You know, now I have to be very honest. I don't judge them on that behalf, but you know, I do find that you know it could make me look bad on that behalf, but I try to avoid it as much as possible. You know, but there are people out there. I mean, I'm gonna say this right here. I don't use swear words in real life as often as I do on the internet. But at the same time, I've been around people who've used profanity all of my life, and you know, at the same time, I'm not bothered by it. So, I mean, that's just me. I mean, and I'm not here to judge because literally I'm not perfect either. Last time I checked, Christ himself said these words verbatim: "Let him who is without sin among you cast the first stone." But let me just say this. You know, the one rant video where I was talking about idiot motorists, yeah, I was very I was very frustrated because I had to because there was because I had to call out somebody who wanted to who wanted to hunk at me while the light was about to change red at one intersection, and then at the next intersection I was about to make a left turn, that fool called himself flipping me out. I mean, flipping me off. You know, while he was passing by me. And you know what? What? And I was like, whatever. But I'm gonna just say this. As a born again Christian, you know, even though even though there are people who think that, I mean, as a born again Christian, do you think that it's okay to criticize one another for the usage of profanity if they were to do it? Now, I mean, here's the killer. Peter, Simon Peter, was a cusser. You didn't know that. I mean, you do realize that, right? I mean, but yeah, I'm gonna say this. Yes, I'm a born again Christian, and I do use profanity too. So, I mean, I try my best to. Now, as a recent history, I've reduced my usage of it. I mean, and I try my best not to use profanity at all. So, what are your thoughts on this? I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. I'm signing off.